Hello students. Today we are going to discuss about our unit number 2, water pollution analysis. Earlier we have discussed and in detail unit number 1, air pollution analysis. Right now I am going to discuss about water pollution analysis. So first of all, we will see all the points of water pollution analysis. So, there are mainly 5 points of water pollution analysis. Point number 1 is introduction to water pollution. Means what is water pollution? How? Means what are the causes of water pollution, and many more basic information is involved in introduction to water pollution. Then physical examination of water means whatever water sample is taken from any source, and the methods of physical examination of it, they all are involved in physical examination of water. Then point number 3 is chemical characterization of water. Means chemical composition, and everything we will discuss it in detail. What are the other ions, anions, cations are involved, or how many proportion of that is in water, drinking water, or water we are using for another purpose. We discuss it in detail. Chemical characterization of water means chemical properties and like that. Then point number 4, minor components of water. We will discuss it in detail. Minor components of water. And point number 5, biological investigation of water. And then we will see all biological methods involved in the investigation of water. And like this, we have 5 points of water pollution analysis, but somehow many other points are also included or connected by this unit. Now we will discuss about introduction. First of all, we will start with the introduction. So you have water pollution analysis. So first of all, we will discuss about water and its existence on earth. So first of all, we will start with environmental segments. So there are mainly 4 environmental segments, and in our unit number 1 we have also discussed about that, but some brief introduction we will start. Environmental segments, mainly 4. Number 1 is lithosphere, which is made up of earth crust. Then number 2, hydrosphere, mainly in the form of oceans, rivers, streams, lakes, glaciers, polar ice caps, groundwater, etc. Means water availability on earth is called, sum of all water is called hydrosphere. Then third segment, atmosphere, mixture of all gases like N2, O2, CO2, argon, helium, etc. Means mixture of all gases available on Earth's sphere is called atmosphere. Biosphere, all living organisms, human, animals and microorganisms, plants and everything, all living organisms are included in biosphere. So it is very important for you how many segments of environment. So today we discuss about hydrosphere because water pollution analysis mainly connected with hydrosphere. So first of all we will see um, what is inside of hydrosphere, how it is made up of, and we'll discuss it in detail. So our point is hydrosphere. First point, hydrosphere is a total amount of water on planet, means it is in the form of oceans or whatever, seas or receivers, or in another forms of like lakes and everything. The total amount of water on the planet is called hydrosphere. The hydrosphere includes water that is on the surface of the planet, underground and in the air. Means if it is on the surface of planet or underground the surface or in the air, we include all the forms of water in hydrosphere. A planet's hydrosphere can be liquid, vapor or ice. Planet's hydrosphere is in the form of liquid, vapor or ice. As liquid form in seas, receivers, lakes, streams and everywhere. In vapors in air, it is in air. In the form of ice, it is in glaciers. So this is how a planet's hydrosphere can be in liquid, vapor or in ice form. Then our second point, on Earth, liquid water exists on the surface in the form of oceans, lakes and rivers. It also exists below ground as groundwater in wells and aquifers. And water vapor is most visible as clouds and fogs. So these are mainly three forms of hydrosphere on planet: liquid, vapor and ice form. You can see here it in this figure, in this image. Water as vapor as in cloud form, as a cloud. Ice, water is in the form of ice as glaciers and ice caps. And then you can see water as salt water or fresh water on the surface of earth or underground the earth. It is in the form of liquid. So this is how you can see in this image. The frozen part of Earth's hydrosphere is made up of ice in the form of glaciers, ice caps and icebergs. The frozen part of the hydrosphere has its own name, the cryosphere. Means it is known by its own name, cryosphere. The frozen part of hydrosphere is known as its own name, cryosphere. Water moves through the hydrosphere in a cycle. Water collects in clouds, then falls to earth in the form of rain or snow. This water collects in rivers, lakes and oceans. Then it evaporates into the atmosphere to start the cycle all over again. This is called the water cycle. So you will have idea about the water cycle, the whole water cycle. First of all, water moves through the hydrosphere. Water collects in clouds, then fall on the earth in the form of rain or snow. This water collects, this all rainwater or snow collected in rivers, lakes and oceans. Then again it's evaporated by solar evaporation. It goes to atmosphere and starts cycle again. This whole process is called water cycle. Earth is the only planet in our solar system with liquid, means with water, where all living organism can live and dependent on this liquid earth. Then we discuss about earth and water proportion on earth. Earth is the only planet in our solar system with liquid. We earlier side I have told you. The earth consists approximate of 71% water and 29% land. Earth's water is 97% salty water and 3% of fresh water, means 97% salt water and 3% is in the form of fresh water. Of that, 3% or more than 2% is frozen, not accessible, means it is in the form of ice caps or it is in polar regions. Therefore, only less than 1% of the water on the earth is unusable. Most of that is groundwater. It is less than 1%. Groundwater availability is less than 1% and human using that quantity and so this is very important point for us. We have only less than 1% water for use in domestic purpose, for drinking purpose or in industries and in many places. So availability of this fresh water is less than 1%. Now we discuss about water. What is the chemical composition and some general points. Then later on we will discuss it in detail, but this is in general. A substance composed of the chemical elements hydrogen and oxygen and existing in gaseous, liquid and solid states. It is one of the most plentiful and essential of compounds, a tasteless and odorless liquid at room temperature. It has the important ability to dissolve many other substances. This is the main characteristic of water. It can dissolve other substance widely. Indeed, the versatility of water as a solvent is essential to living organisms because all living organisms have that biochemical reaction is depend on water solubility. Life is believed to have originated in the aqueous solutions of the world's ocean and living organisms depends on aqueous solutions such as blood and digestive juices for biological processes. In small quantities, water appears colorless, but water actually has an intrinsic blue color caused by slight absorption of light at red wavelength, means it absorbs red and emit blue color. So we can see all sea, oceans in blue color because of absorption of red wavelength. We can see light blue color. We say that sea blue color, right? So in our next slide you can see the whole image. Its color is blue, sea blue color, sea green color we can say. It absorbs red wavelengths and emits blue, and the color comes to our eyes and we can see it in blue color. Mineral water composition. Actually, we will discuss it in detail, but today we are giving the structure of water and composition. So, discussing about it, what type of elements are present in mineral water. So, mainly calcium is in proportion of 2518 milligram per liter. Magnesium is in proportion of 9397 milligram per liter. Sodium is in amount of 178 milligram per liter. Potassium 25 milligram per liter. Bicarbonates mainly 14,459 milligram per liter. Carbon dioxide is in proportion of 2500 milligram per liter. So this is how the composition of mineral water in general. Water pollution. Now our topic is water pollution analysis. So first of all we will discuss about water pollution. In short we will going to discuss it. Just we will take its definition and types and we will discuss it in brief. Water pollution occurs when harmful substances, often chemicals or microorganisms, contaminate a stream, river, lake, ocean, aquifer, or other body of water, degrading water quality and rendering it toxic to human or the environment. This is called water pollution. Means water quality degrades and toxic chemicals goes to water and contaminate the whole water content is called water pollution, which makes difference in water smell, means the odor of water, taste of water, and we can say it is a polluted water. Water pollution. In other words, we can say water pollution can be defined in many ways. Usually, it means one or more substances have built up in water to such an extent that they cause problems for animals or people. Means other substances goes to water and build up such an extent, means small quantity cannot disturb water, large amount of water, but such an extent that cause problem for animals or people, we can say it is water pollution. What are the causes of water pollution? Water is uniquely vulnerable to pollution, known as universal solvent. Water is able to dissolve more substances than any other liquid on the earth. So it can get polluted easily because it can dissolve many substances very easily in compared to other liquids on the earth. It's also why water is so easily polluted. Toxic substances from farms, towns, and factories readily dissolve into and mix with it, causing water pollution. Means waste come out from towns, farms, and factories. dissolves in water and that cause water pollution. So this is the main reason why water get polluted easily, because water is most dissolve all the impurity inside it easily in compared to other solvents on the earth. What are the main types of water pollution? So first we discuss about its definition, then its cause, and somewhat we discuss about types of water pollution. When we think of Earth's water resources, we think of huge oceans, lakes, and rivers. Water resources like this are called surface waters, means water availability on Earth's surface in the form of ocean, lakes, rivers, streams, reservoir. All are called surface waters. The most obvious type of water pollution affects surface waters. For example, a spill a spill from an oil tanker creates an oil slick that can affect a vast area of the ocean. So this is how the most obvious type of water pollution affects surface water. Surface water can easily get polluted. Not all of the earth's water sits on its surface. However, a great deal of water is held in underground rock structures known as aquifers, which we cannot see and seldom think about. We cannot see inside of water, underground water, but we can think about that. We get underground water by many processes. Water stored underground in aquifers is known as groundwater. So some proportion of water is also available as groundwater. Surface waters and groundwater are the two types of water resources that pollution affects. There are also two different ways in which pollution can occur. If pollution comes from a single location, such as a discharge pipe attached to a factory, it is known as point source solution. Means we have some specific source and water get polluted by that source. Means we have some identifiable source. It is called point source solution. In other cases, other example of point source pollution includes an oil spill from a tanker, a discharge from a smokestack, means a factory chimney, or someone pouring oil from other car down a drain. A great deal of water pollution happens not from one single source but from many different scattered sources. This is called non-point source pollution. Means we cannot identify one source as a reason of water pollution, but there are many different sources, scattered sources are involved. This is called non-point source pollution. So we are having two types of pollution: point source pollution and non-point source pollution. Types of water pollutant. This is also important for you. Here we are having 5 main types of water pollutants. First, microbial. This is in the form of pathogen, can be bacteria, protozoa or viruses. Organic material. like petroleum, insecticides and herbicides, detergents, disinfectant, cleaners and prescription drugs that all are called organic materials. I am repeating it, like petroleum we are using in cars and scooters and in bike as a fuels. Insecticides and herbicides we are using it for domestic purpose, and in farms we are using insecticides and herbicides. And then detergents we are using it for domestic purpose or we are using it in industries. Disinfecting cleaners we are using it in homes for domestic purpose and in industries also. And then prescription drugs, inorganic materials like ammonia, chemical waste, fertilizers and heavy metals. This is the third main pollutant type. Then fourth type is microscopic. Large visible items in waterways or bodies of water. They all are called microscopic water pollutants. Then thermal water pollutants. Water as a coolant by power plants and industrial manufacturers. So this is called thermal water pollutant. Water used in coolant, and this water goes to the sea, rivers, oceans, and this is the main five type of water. This is the last type, and you can see mainly 5 types of water pollutants. Now, your analysis of the causes and impact of water pollution. When water becomes contaminated by unexpected substances, it is considered as harmful for human and aquatic lives. This water is termed as polluted water, means water which we cannot use for drinking purpose, and it is also affects aquatic lives and it has hazardous effect. This water is termed as polluted water. Various causes are responsible for polluting water. Some natural causes are mixture of biodegraded portion of animal and plants to pure water, siltation by erosion of river banks, etc. So many reasons of natural causes of water pollution. Then domestic wastes, industrial wastes, fertilizer, etc. are man-made pollutants of water. So we can classify it in 2 ways: natural pollutants and man-made pollutants. Man-made water pollutants. Right? So in our next slide, necessity of water for each and every living beings needs no description. Means it has no specific description of water necessity, because in day-to-day life for human they are using for many purposes, right? So there is no specific description. They intake water directly or indirectly for physiological activities. Means all human being, animals and microorganism all are using water directly or indirectly for their physiological activities. Without water, they cannot do their regular activities or biological activities. If this intaking water is polluted, it will do harm, that is for sure. Means they are using water for their day to day life in more proportion, and if this is intaking water is the water they are taking is polluted, it will definitely harm all living organism on the earth. And the worst part is this bad impact sorry the worst part is this bad impact transports to other through food chain. Means you have studied it in biology that all food chains, and if this polluted water goes to one living organism, it will go to another and then it affects or transport to the food chain. Therefore, we must be aware of the adverse influence polluted water may have on us. At present, we cannot prevent water being polluted. Means today's life, it is not possible to prevent water from getting polluted, but we can minimize it. But minimization is very much needed. It is time we took some step to start working on it. So the unit water pollution analysis is important for you. These are the main factors why it is necessary to minimize the water pollution, right? We cannot minimize the use because for all living organisms, their day-to-day life, their physiological activities, their biological activities, their biochemical reaction inside the bodies of all living organisms, water is very, very necessary. So we cannot stop it. We cannot get rid of water and do our activities. So necessity of water is important and very important. Then polluted water intake harms all living organism and its worst effect as like on food chain. If polluted water goes to one body, it goes to the another animal, then it goes to again in the another living organism, and then that disturb the whole food chain. And therefore it is very important to stop this whole chain. And at present we cannot stop water pollution totally, because day to day life with urbanization, with industrialization and with population growth, we can't stop water getting polluted or can't stop water pollution, but somewhat we can minimize it by some important steps, by taking some step. It is time we took some step to start working on it. So this is how we can minimize water pollution. So this is the last slide of your topic, but whatever you have got all idea about hydrosphere, how water content is available on earth, on your planet, what is the proportion of it, surface water, underground water. Then we have discussed about it is in different form, Then we have discussed about water chemical composition, then composition of mineral water. We'll also discuss in detail in our next session that hard water, soft water, and everything in detail, because we will discuss, we are having topic of water pollution analysis. So first of all we need to know about water's composition, right? So composition of water is also very important. We have some idea in our earlier slide. We have discussed it in short. We have discussed. Then we have discussed about water pollution. Then first of all we have discussed about type of water sources like surface water and underground water. Then we have discussed type of pollution, water pollution, point source pollution, point source water pollution, and another type is non-point source water pollution. Then we have discussed about the cause and what are the main factors, right? So there are main factors because water is very easily, water can dissolve many substances easily in compared to other solvents available on earth's surface, right? So water easily get polluted because it can dissolve all the components outsider source coming from outside sources, and that's why water get polluted easily. We have also discussed about different types of water pollutants. Main types of water pollutants. We have discussed about 5 types of pollutants, water pollutants. Water pollutants which majorly pollutants or substances which are mainly affects water to get polluted. They all are called water pollutants. And we have described the whole types: organic water pollutants, inorganic water pollutants, microbials, right? We have discussed all 5 types in detail. Then the main cause and how it harms all living organisms, what is the necessity of water and effect of polluted water on all living organisms, we have discussed in detail. In our next session we will discuss our next point. This is the general primary introduction of the whole unit, water pollution analysis, and it is very necessary for you to know. And we have also discussed in our earlier slide that the view or color of water, like we can see all oceans on the planet in blue color. It's because of absorption of red wavelength and emission of blue wavelengths that light comes to in our eyes and we can see it in blue color. So we have also see its picture image on your slide, and this is how you got all idea about hydrosphere, water, availability of water on earth planet. And earth is the only planet having liquid water, right? So we can see the lives on earth planet, and they can survive by depending on water, and they are using the water in day to day life. So students, we have discussed it in detail. In our next lecture, we will also discuss about pH of water, then hard water, salt water, chemical composition, physical examination of water, and many more points. Today, we are concluding our lecture here, and many more things we will discuss in our next session. The topic is very interesting and necessary for you to know, and in this unit we will also see how we can minimize the water pollution effect, because we cannot stop water pollution, but we can minimize the water pollution. So how we can minimize the effect of water pollution, we will also discuss it in our next session. We are with our last slide, and thank you students. We will discuss our unit in next session.